What's up, YouTube? It's Bianca J, and I'm here today with another word for you all. Excuse me. And so today's word comes from January the 25th. On January 25th, I was waking up from a dream, right? And so as I was waking up, the Lord spoke Anathoth to me, right? And so I hurry up and put it in my notepad on my phone. And I was like, when I get up, in the morning, I'm going to break down that word. And so as I'm dozing back off to sleep, I can hear like an operator's voice. You know how the operator from that dun, 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 how the operator voice sounds? So it was a woman, and her voice it said 1250. And so I was like, okay, Lord, 1250. And so then he says 1250. And so then I wake up. And so I immediately put the 1250 and to my notepad. And so when I got up the next morning, I went to go break down the word Anathoth, and then I also went to go break down 1250. And so Anathoth meant answers to prayers, right? Answer to prayer. And so then the 1250 meant Abba. So what the Lord was saying here is that God answer prayers, Abba answer prayers, right? And so as I was breaking down Anathoth, Anathoth meant the son of Belcher and the grandson of Benjamin. It was one of the heads of the people who signed the covenant with Nehemiah. It was a city of Benjamin that was allotted to the priests, located approximately 3 miles from Jerusalem. It was also the birthplace of the prophet Jeremiah. And so I was led to Jeremiah 32, verse 7. And it says, "And Hanamel, the son of Shalom, your uncle, is going to come to you and say, buy my field at Anathoth, because as nearest relative, it is your right and duty to buy it." So I want to put emphasis on you guys going back to read Jeremiah 32, because this word is coming from Jeremiah 32. So please go back and read the entire chapter. And so in my notes. And so what the Lord is saying here, like, even though after all the calamity, the trials that we have been through, all the spiritual warfare that we have faced, after all of the calamity we've experienced, the Lord is going to bring all the good that he has promised to us, right? And so in this land that the Lord is giving us, for some of you all, you have already moved to your promised land. You are already in your promised land. For others, the Lord has been speaking to you about this move that's coming, about moving to a new city, moving to a new state, and for some of you to a new country. And so in this land that the Lord has promised you, your promised land, the Lord is saying that he will rejoice over his people and do them good, right? And he also is saying that he will plant his people in this land, the land that he has given us, right? With all his heart and all his soul. And so in verse 40 of Jeremiah 32, verse 40, it says that he will make an everlasting covenant with them, right? As in God, that he will not turn away from doing them good, so doing his people good, and that he will put his fear in their hearts, so that they will not depart from him. And so the Lord says that he will give his people, one heart, one way, and they will fear him forever, for the good of them and their children after them, right? And so we went through all of these things because the Lord had to had to place that fear in our hearts, so that we know when the Lord blesses us with these promises, when he give us these things, when he blesses us in our promised land, that we do not turn away from him, that we do not turn our hearts away from the Lord, right? So that we don't forget about God when we get the promises in which he have promised us. And so the Lord is saying that we shall be his people and he will be our God, right? We are not to turn away from him after we get the things that we have been praying for, after we get the things that he has promised us, right? And so in this land that the Lord is giving us, is going to be, double portion, right? These are going to be double portion blessings that we are receiving by the Lord's hand. So know that it is God who is bringing these blessings to you, and do not forget about God. Do not forget about Abba. He is the one who has done this for you, right? And so in verse 27 it says, "Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me?" And so that was Jeremiah 32, verse 27. So these promises are sure to pass. The Lord is saying it's not too hard for him to do. It wasn't that he had to figure out how to bring these blessings to you. It wasn't that your problem or your situation was so rough that he had to figure out how to get it to you. No, you went through these things so he could put that fear in your heart, so you know to not turn your heart away from him, right? You had to go through these things so that you know to continue to seek the Lord even after receiving them. You don't want to go back to the things that you went through, right? I know for a lot of us, it has been rough, right? You would never want to experience that again, right? Going through that rough season. So do not turn away from the Lord, right? After you receive your promises. And so I want to go on to break down what 1250 meant. And so 1250 in the Bible theme, it means Abba, right? In the Bible too, it meant Abba. That's what the 1250 meant. And so we know that Abba means father. And so those who use Abba as reference to God enjoys a close relationship with him, right? Enjoys a close relationship with the Father. And so Jesus used the term as a consequence of his natural sonship of God, right? And when I say consequence, I mean an inference, right? A conclusion derived from logic, right? And so us as believers use it as an inference of our adopted sonship of God through faith. And so when God gave me the 1250 and Anathoth, like I said, I put it all together, and I knew that the Lord was saying that Abba answered prayers. So in this land, right, the Lord is saying Abba answer prayers, those promises that he has made us, right? He is answering them in this land, in our promised land, right? For, wherever your promised land is, the Lord is saying these promises are sure to come to pass. And so as I was breaking down this word, the Lord prompted me to go look up 1126. And so back in January, I believe I did a word that included the number 1126. And it came from a dream that I had on December 26, 2023, right? And so in the Strong's 1126, it meant Ben-Oni, right? Which means son of my sorrow. And so the scripture that I was led to, that I spoke of in that previous video, it was Genesis 35 verse 18, and it says, "And it came to pass as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin." And so you all are giving birth to your new in your promised land, right? You all are giving birth, right? You're leaving the old, like Rachel was passing on as she was giving birth to Benjamin, right? And so as Rachel was giving birth to Benjamin, she died, right? And Benjamin was the new. She gave birth to her new son. And so for a lot of you all, you're giving birth to your new in this land, right? And so, like I said, with this birthing is a departing from the old, and it's an entering into your new. And so in Jeremiah 32, Anathoth is the city of Benjamin that was allotted to priests, right? And so, like I said, it was the birthplace of the prophet Jeremiah as well. And so in Jeremiah 32, after the calamity and the lessons were learned, right, by God's people, God promised them an everlasting covenant, and that he will not turn away from them, from doing them good, right? And so that's what the Lord is saying to us. He will not turn away from doing us good, right? He will not turn away from us, right? And so that he placed this fear in our hearts so that we won't depart from him, right? So that we won't forget him. And so he planted his people, like I said, in this land with all of his heart and all of his soul, right? That means with all of him, right? He planted us in this land. Like he's going to do it. He's going to do good by his people. He's going to rejoice over his people. He's going to bless his people in these promise in our promised land, right? And so after I had fallen back to sleep after the 1250 in Anathoth, I ended up having a dream about these twins, right? And so I was to choose a twin to date, right? And so the Lord had told, like in the dream, the Lord had spoke to me which twin that he had chose for me. And so I knew what twin I would have chose. And the Lord was like, no, this is the twin that he chose for me. And so I ended up picking the God choice, right? Not my choice, but the God choice. And the God choice was the best choice, right? He was the best one for me to pick in the dream, right? And so for a lot of you guys, the Lord is saying for you to pick his choice, right? So for example, some of you all have been praying like, oh God, I just need a car. Like I just need a car. And so if you were to go out and choose the car yourself, you might get a used car. But the Lord was like, no, choose what I want for you. And what I want for you is always best. And so for those who have just been praying for the car, you like, I'll just choose a used car. The Lord is like, no, I have the best choice for you. I'm going to give you a brand new car. You know, go with my choice, right? So choose God's choice, right? And so, like on January the 25th, because I wrote this word out, the Lord was kept showing me like twins on my timeline. Like it was so many birthing stories of twins being birthed, right? It was so many women giving birth to twins, double promises, right? And so in my timeline, it was this one woman, and she had her first ultrasound, right? And so when she went back, I want to say 12 weeks later to get another ultrasound done, there was two babies. But when the original one was done, they only seen one baby, right? So it was two blessings in her uterus, right? There were two promises being birthed in her uterus where she was only expecting one. Okay, and so for some of you all, you have been seeking God and asking God, well, I just want a house, right? And the Lord is saying, I'm getting ready to bless you with a house and a car. Or you might have said, oh Lord, I just want this little small house. I don't need much. And the Lord is saying, no, but baby, I got a mansion with your name on it. I'm going to bless you with a mansion. For some of you all, like I said, you have been asking for a used car, and the Lord is about to bless you with a brand new car and a marriage. You know, for some of you all, you have been seeking the Lord for to be able to bless your womp so you can have a baby. And the Lord is saying you're giving birth to multiple babies. You're having twins. Not only am I going to bless you with twins, but I'm going to bless you with a new house and a new car, because I am the God who provides multiple, right? These are multiple blessings. You are giving birth to multiple things. For some of you all, you have just been praying, Lord, please save my business. I'm trying to save my business. I put my all into it. And the Lord is saying, choose my choice. I'm getting ready to bless you with multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. You're holding on to this old so tightly that you can get the new that I have in front of you, the new that I have for you. Choose my choice. Trust me. I got it. And I'm going to rejoice over you with these blessings. I'm going to plant you here where you never be uprooted again. These blessings will not be uprooted from you again. And so the Lord is just saying, just trust him in this season. Like, it's going to come to pass. And it's not only what you pray for, it's more than you pray for. Because God is the God of more than enough, right? So this promised land, this land where the Lord is planting you, is coming with a lot of abundance, right? A lot of prosperity. So you all be expecting that. And so let me make sure I covered everything in my notes. Yeah, I think I did. I covered everything. I covered everything in my notes. I was moving ahead of my notes, but you all be expecting. The Lord is bringing multiple promises in this season. You're giving birth to multiple promises. For some of you, it's a ministry and a marriage. For some of you, it's a baby, a ministry and a marriage. For some of you, it's a house, a car, and a marriage. For some, like, it's going to be more than what you pray for, but just know that it is coming to pass. The Lord is bringing this to pass, and you are not to turn away from God once you receive these blessings. Once you receive these promises, you are not to turn away from God. And so that's the end of this word I have for you all today. But just know that Abba answered prayers, and it is coming to pass. So stay focused and be blessed. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye.